Greetings to everyone. Myself Rajesh Kumar Kashyap from Climate Change and Environmental Livelihood Solutions from Dehradun, Uttarakhand. My friend, Climate Change and Environmental Livelihood Solution, in short form we can say CELS, is a startup firm in Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India. CELS is basically a consultancy firm which provide livelihood solutions pertaining to climate change and environment like waste management, forest resource management, climate change issues, etc. We are known to make impossible tasks possible. Today, the topic of discussion is unfolding the concept of green technology to achieve zero emission. My friends, to start with, I would like to bring your attention that Earth was once perfect, but man created imbalance in nature without realizing the impact on future generation. In additional, earthly environment is also endangered due to excessive carbon emission. In another word, earthly environment is overloaded with carbon emission. As a result, we have entered in a phase of climate change. My friends, power generation contribute 40% of CO2 in our environment. Industrialization contribute 20% CO2 in our environment. Transportation contribute 20% CO2 in our environment. Household contribute 20% CO2. In last 1 centuries, growth is unchecked in the industrialization sector resulted in increase in 20% of CO2 deposition in atmosphere, which is one amongst the major greenhouse gases, which is causing greenhouse effect, which leads to global warming, and global warming leads to climate change, and climate change may gradually leads to destruction. CO2 act like a catalyst which accelerate in the overall temperature by trapping unheavable infrared radiations and adds up in the global warming process. We all are familiar that greenhouse gases consist of carbon dioxide, methane, CFC, nitrous oxide, vapors, etc. What are the impact of the global warming? What are the impact of climate change? The global warming already impacting the glaciers, ocean, and climate change. Already the temperature has increased to 1 degree Celsius, and if it crosses 2 degrees Celsius, it will cause serious impact on Earth in form of massive destruction like flood, storm, hurricane, rise in sea level, which will lead to submerge of low coastline areas. The most realizing thing is the future threat. What if we delay in implementation? If we miss out few more years, then situation may be worse in out and out of control. As per the findings, by then we may damage our reflectors and absorbers in form of glaciers and clouds, which may result in sudden increase in the global temperature in vicious cycle. Now talks about the solutions, how we can neutralize the carbon emission. My friend, we already have discussed that how power generation contribute 40%, transportation contribute 20%, industries contribute 20%, and household contribute 20% of the carbon dioxide emission. But there is a strategy to cope up, and this strategy is triple A strategy. A stands for add up in the existing technology. The second A stands for alternate option. And the third A stands for absorption of CO2, or sequestration of CO2. My friend, power generation contribute of course 40% of the CO2, but power generation can also have alternate options. The biggest option I see is the solar power in deserts and wasteland, wind turbines near seashore, hydropower plants on rivers, nuclear power energy, marine energy on seaside, geothermal energy. These are few options which can be adopted gradually, and we need to cut down the power generation from coal, which is contributing into the CO2 emission. My friend, expert says just 1% of the total Earth's surface, if being used for solar electrification, we can solve world electricity consumption issue. Just 1% of the Earth's surface. We have a lot of desert areas, we have roof, we have, you know, blank spaces which can be used for solar panels. This is more than enough to sort out our electricity problem in a decentralized mode. Then transportation contribute, of course, 20%, but there are other options, that alternate additional technology which can, cut down the CO2 emission, like petrol blend with ethanol results in low pollutions. CO2 absorber devices can be installed in bikes. Electric charge road transportation can come, should be our next target. Ship can run on CO2 fuel, plane can run on nuclear fusion technology. You see, these are some of the options. Then regarding industries contribute 20% of the CO2 emission in the environment. But there are options like greenhouse gas mitigation instrument can minimize smoke. Then CO2 or other gas scrubber instrument and machines absorbs and cleans the gas before discharge. Then, use of biomass fuel is one option. Oxy-fuel combustion, post combustion, Alstrom, this is under Alstrom method. You see, there are a lot of other, options, additional technologies which can really cut down the CO2 emission. Then if I talk about household, we have about 7 to 8 billion people on this earth. They contribute 20% of the CO2. But for them, plant is the best CO2 absorber. you know so there we need to plant trees in all human residential areas, in colonies, schools, campus, park, roadside, so that we can really help, cut down the CO2. And one more thing, my friend, plant just not they just don't absorb carbon, but they are useful in many other things, like change in microclimate. They saves your air condition bill. They give you fruit, flower, leaves. They help in rain. They help as a rain canopy. Wherever the plant is, you get more rain. Of course, beautification. The plant helps in many ways. I understand that we have CO2 issues. We all understand the CO2 issues is a big crisis. But we also have several issues, different forms, in upgraded technologies and substitute. Then where is the gap? Where is the gap? What are the missing links? My friend, it's basically the lack of seriousness. The second is the lack of effective implementation. We need proper strategies to combat these issues. The next question is, what are those combat strategies? Especially in democratic country like India, change in policies is just not enough. We need promotional strategies for effective implementation, like subsidies and incentives, reward, award, and public recognition. Pool in all the scientific research related to waste, renewable energy, research and development, which is called R&D, has to be there. Who are our target group? Who are the main person who need to be focused on? The country's government, entrepreneurs, and general public. We need to educate them about environment, gains, and benefit. Then only they will be attracted towards it. In case of countries, the government of all the nations so seriously take steps involving subsidies, incentives, mass awareness, involving general public. The international forum should categorize each countries into below listed categories for better management. For example, countries who are surrounded or who are covered with the snow around the year should be categorized under white. Countries who have got green belt between 30 to 40 and above percentage should be categorized in the green category. Countries who have got green cover between 20 to 30% must be categorized in the yellow. Countries having green cover between 10 to 20% must be categorized in the orange. And countries who have got no green cover or less than 10% must be categorized under red categories. And accordingly, they should be focused, and accordingly, the new strategies need to be implemented in the category wise. In case of entrepreneurs, compulsory use of industrial gas scrubbers, subsidy to provider on pollution scrubber, green industry tagging, rebate on tax on green industries, reward, award, and public recognition to green industries. Let it become a symbol of prestige for the green industries. Green taxes on polluters if they don't follow the above given solutions. Then, in case of general public, we need high revolution, high awareness programs related to environmental gains and benefits. We need green ambassadors in all countries, states, and districts. We need eco clubs in schools so that we can sensitize our future generation and they have a concern for the environment and they bring in the solution after we encourage environmental livelihood, low cost investment like plantation with 3-year AMC, because most of the time we have seen that uh, you know in public cases the plants are being planted and afterwards it's all been grazed out by the animal. So plant, when they are planted, they have to be serviced for 3-year AMC so that they really comes up. Waste management 100%, because this earth is becoming a place of waste nowadays. Forest and agriculture biomass management need to be there so that we can control on forest fires. Encourage investment in renewable energy, my friend. TV media and advertisement campaign in public interest, environmental songs, pop songs. I'm very thankful to Michael Jackson who sang beautiful earth songs which has really sensitized the entire human race of this earth. Thanks to Michael Jackson again. But we need more directors, singers, actors to come up with new movies like Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, which can be the best tools for mass awareness. And accordingly, these directors and actors and singers must be recognized. They must be awarded so that we can build up the momentum of awareness with this. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. Bye.